Hi everyone, it's Honeybee with Wake Up Wednesdays. Welcome. I'm going to push this back a little bit. I'm happy to be here with everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit about some experiences that I've been having with emotions lately. So, I have to get my setup. And emotions have been such a big part of my interior world. I have a Scorpio moon, and for those of us that know about astrology, the Scorpio is the one who experiences the extremes. So this week, for example, I noticed that I went full extremes, moment by moment. And this happens to us all the time. On Sunday, I was crying. I was so sad. I was feeling isolated. On Monday, I was feeling so high and elated. And Tuesday, the crash came again. And it really made me just get clear within myself and bring myself back to center. The thing with our emotional state is that we need to bring more patience to it. We need to bring patience to what is going on, because these highs and these lows, they will change. There is a tantric philosophy that the very first tenet in this system says everything changes, and the mental affliction is in the mind. So it's, if I'm making something mean that this emotion is good or bad, that is where the affliction happens. It's all in the mind, instead of just observing these emotions as they come in and they go out. And this week was very intense for me, and I'm sure a lot of us are experiencing this right now, just within the realms of what's going on the planet. And the planet is really asking for us in a new way how to wake up. I mean, there's really no sleepwalking anymore for many of us who are on the path of getting to know who we are. This is a really important thing. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today that's really important, yeah, Danny, it is intense. And it's okay that it's intense. It's almost like we're going through this birthing canal. And so everything is intensified. You know, when we were sleepwalking, it's just like, oh, life is easy, humdrum, I can eat this fast food, I can watch television, I can do this to distract me. And now we're being forced through this birthing canal. So many of us are in the birthing canal. It's very tight and there's a lot of friction, and we will move through it. It's just about being patient with yourself to move through these things. And for me, I like to go inward first, because I know that when I'm experiencing these high levels of emotional experiences, that I've got to go and get quiet and see what's really going on inside of me. So that's why I was inspired a little bit to share with you all today about just how to handle and to deal with our emotions. So the first thing that I learned this week and have been really present to is patience. Allowing myself to be in the emotion that I'm in without making it mean that I'm doing something wrong, without making it mean that I'm angry. Okay, so be angry. I'm not attached to the anger. I'm just observing it. Okay, there's anger present, or oh, there's joy present. I did recognize that on Sunday I was in such a high, and to reconnect. I noticed, and I even told myself, okay, this too will not last, so don't get attached to this, because this is a passing movement of energy. So it's kind of like when we're surfing these waves. I don't know if you all surf, but I surf very poorly, and when I do, I get out and then I get crashed down in the water. And the best thing that you can do when you're thrown over the washing machine is just to protect your head and relax your body, because the water will naturally move you into a new state of being. So I was very, very sad yesterday and in a lot of tears, and just, I feel like I'm holding up this light for people, and I'm like, I'm here, I'm love, I want to help. And some people are not ready for the medicine that I'm offering. Many people are not ready to move into this space of unconditional love. And I made it personal. I made it mean that my value wasn't, I wasn't worth anything because I can't even help my friends. And when I got to that depth and that understanding, I got to unlock the emotional hook, because there's no truth in that whatsoever. What the truth is that my inherent being, our inherent being, is valuable just because we're alive. And just because someone is not running and saying, please help me, it doesn't mean anything about me. Whether someone comes to me or doesn't come to me is nothing to do with me. It's what I make it mean is what effectively is the most important thing. So, at Master's program, we talked about how you are with the issue is the issue. So how you are with these emotions as they come in and out of your life is the most important thing. Can I be in a loving space with myself? Can I be patient to just allow these things to move with me as I move through my day, knowing that they will change? It's the only thing that's constant, change. So if I allow and I give a lot of space to these emotions, they will shift and they will be something different, maybe in a moment or maybe next day. One of the things that I find really helpful is walking. So yesterday I was really distraught, and I walked a lot. And one of the things that's the most important thing to do is moving the energy. It doesn't matter how you move the energy, but just move it. Because sitting in it while you distract yourself can be very detrimental for the energy to move. So oftentimes people will distract themselves with music or Facebook or food or alcohol or even drugs, and it's actually suppressing the emotion that we need to feel much further down. It may give us a temporary relief, but the actual getting under it and unrooting the rawness of the emotion won't occur unless we really slow down, give ourselves enough space without distraction. So movement I find really helpful. I was very upset yesterday morning, just in tears, and I walked. And I walked just to be with my emotions, what's coming up. And that's when I got to the bottom of it. So I want to give you guys some tips because I think they're helpful. Good, Candace. I'm so glad these are helpful for you. This was really helpful for me as well. And I sat down this morning and I wrote down some just ways to sit with yourself and ways to be with yourself. So when an emotion arises and it feels like it's taking you over, if you allow yourself to just be present with what is, without judgment, without attachment, this is bad, this is good, this is right, it's a feeling and it will move. So just allow yourself to be present with what is. No distractions. That means all these things that are outside of us that we're yanking on and pulling on, see if you can just be with it without all the noise, without all the input, without all of this silencing and suppressing the emotions. It's a real opportunity for us to get intimate with ourselves. And in this space of intimacy, we can have a neutral observation of the energy that's present. So without naming it, this is bad, I'm angry, this is bad, I'm bad, I'm happy, oh, I'm great, I feel blah, blah, blah. Without that, just observe it from a neutral perspective. Get curious with the emotion. Ask it questions from this neutral, loving space. What is it that you're here to show me? What is it that I need to learn? What is it that you can teach me? So now I become not so invested in the emotion. I'm actually asking from a bigger space, a space of unconditional loving for the emotion to inform me of what's going on. Soothe that part of you with unconditional loving. So when you bring yourself back to a space of unconditional love, the emotion will have trust in you that you really do want to hear what it's saying. So, example, if I'm angry, instead of suppressing the anger, sometimes I may act out. And acting out is violence, right? But if I actually just sit with the anger and I say, okay, anger, teach me, tell me what's going on, the anger starts to feel a little bit more free to, and it trusts you to give you information. You may have a memory come forward. You may have an image or a picture in your mind, or some part of your body may start talking to you. Honor that, listen to that part, and ask it with curiosity, teach me what you're here to teach me. Because that in and of itself will help to frame this, or more so like give the container for the energy to move, so that we're not stuck in this space. Once the information has been given, and sometimes this takes some practice, so again, no judgment on yourself. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but the constant coming back to yourself with the space of love will help these different parts of ourselves to begin to trust, to begin to know that, okay, I can share with her. I'm ready to give her the information. So it's really this practice of being intimate with yourself in a way where these aspects of us can come forward and they can share with us what's really going on, what's really present. So for example, yesterday, this thing came up and I felt inferior because I couldn't help my friend. She wasn't asking for my help, but I couldn't help her come out of her pain. And I went into this space and I got down into it when I was like, okay, what's really going on for you? I got into this space of, I don't feel worthy, like no one can see my light, and I'm shining my light over here, and people are not ready for this, and it's just simply not true. The perfect people will come to me. The perfect people that need the support that I am here to give will come to me, but I wouldn't have gotten to that if I didn't take myself out for a walk without distractions, if I didn't continue to create a safe space for these aspects to communicate to me what is needed in the moment. Once you kind of get under it, really, really give yourself so much compassion. Thank you so much, part of myself that needed to share. Thank you, young one. I love you. I'm so grateful that you came forward. Just give her so much compassion and offer her forgiveness. Once you have this kind of relationship with yourself, these things happen on a much faster basis. Fill yourself up with love. So what happens from an energetic perspective is if we've got this energy that's vibrating that wants our attention, it comes in the form of anger or sadness or isolation or joy. And if you allow yourself to get intimate with the emotion, the space clears. The energy has enough vibration to clear itself into a greater capacity of love. So what that means is we want to then, after the compassion and the self-forgiveness, we want to pour all of that love back into ourselves. And then we can move on to the next thing that comes. I always do this when the energy feels stronger than or my reaction to the energy is stronger than what's being presented on the outside, which takes a lot of practice because sometimes we just get triggered and we lash out. But it takes practice to see, like, okay, what's going on here? What's really going on? And it takes this slowing down, being with yourself. And once you can be with yourself in this way, then we can be with the rest of the planet in this way. So what's going on for you, my love? What is going on that you're in so much pain? Teach me, tell me, let me love you. Let me build this container. I don't want to change you. I just want to understand where you're coming from. And in that space of love, then it's like the energy can the energy will allow itself to move, and that's when real healing takes place. I have the pleasure of hosting my besties right now, Pitango and Vaina, and last night we talked about this, and Pitango said, you have to feel it to heal it. And that comes in a way that is not distracting yourself. So I'm giving you guys this piece of wisdom that comes from my heart, that comes from my experience. I encourage you to practice with yourself. Practice when the energy feels strong and you just don't know what to do. Give yourself a break, because every emotion leads us back to love. Remember, anger suppresses some kind of hurt, which is underneath the hurt is so much love. It's the same with joy. Everything leads us back to our heart, leads us back to love. We just have to give ourselves enough space and enough time to meet ourselves in this way. Okay, my loves, that's it for Wake Up Wednesdays. I'm so grateful you joined, and if you find this helpful, please share. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them on the comments, so please ask. Lots of love to you. It's an intense time. Be gentle with yourself. Go on lots of walks. Take time and space for yourselves. Get creative. Get in the earth. Whatever you need to do, do it with you without distraction. I love you. Blessings. Oh, finish. This thing always cracks me. I'm going to learn how to do this, and it'll be way amazing.